Hi guys, how are you? Today's our topic calculate inverter and battery for home. I'm taking here only the essential load because we are using the inverter only during the loss of our main power. If you use more loads, then your inverter size will become very high. And here I consider only the LED bulb and fans because these are going to be very useful during the main power loss condition. Here one LED has 10 watts, so 4 LED has 40 watts, and one fan has 70 watts, and 3 fans have 210 watts. So total watts 250 watts. And here no need to take diversity factor because whenever there is a power loss in our home, we would use all the LEDs or fans which would be connected to the inverter. So no need to take the diversity factor. We would normally take the diversity factor when we size the SNDB, MDB transformer like that, but here no need of that. So we need to convert the watts into VA because the inverter sizing would be in VA. Okay, so for that first we consider our main power factor equation, that is power factor is real power by apparent power. From here the apparent power, that is the VA, that is the VA is watt by power factor, that means real power by power factor. Our real power is 250 watts divided by power factor is 0.8. Normally we would consider 0.8. So the VA is 312.5. Now the next consideration is efficiency of the inverter. It means your inverter would have some losses. Okay, that is the real life scenario. Every machine has some losses, so I consider here a loss of 20%. That means your inverter has an efficiency of only 80%. Okay, so we need to divide our VA with this efficiency. 80% means 0.8, 80 by 100. Okay, so 390.6, approximately 400 VA. So it is the size of your inverter. Instead of this 400 VA, don't take 500 VA because the oversizing of an inverter or any other things is not good. It will be a problem for your system and also you will lose your cost. And one thing about the efficiency, you don't need to consider your inverter has efficiency of 90%, 95% like that, because in real life you will not get a machine of 90% efficiency. There will be always some losses. And also don't consider your inverter's efficiency of only 70%. Okay, because when you consider your efficiency very less, your inverter size will be very high. That will be a loss of your cost. And if you consider your efficiency of 90% like that, then your inverter size will become very low. So in real life you may not be able to power your equipments from this inverter because your inverter has very low size. Okay, so always consider 80%, that will be very good. And the next one is the battery size calculation. The equation is load into backup time in hours and the battery efficiency into inverter efficiency into battery voltage into depth of discharge. We have the load of 250 watts. Okay, and our backup time, I here consider only 1 hour. You always need to consider minimum requirement. If 30 minutes is your minimum requirement, it's okay, fine, but don't consider more backup time. If you take more backup time, then your battery size would be very high. Okay, and the next is the battery voltage. You could take 12 or 24 volt or 48 voltage. It depends upon your system. Here our system is LED and fans. So you need 24 volt because the 24 volt has good power. If you take 12 volt, then it may not give power for your fan and LED to work. It will work, but you will not get sufficient power. And if your system has very high electrical equipments like AC, okay, to power that equipments you would require 48 volt DC volt, okay, but here we only require 24 volt. And next about the battery efficiency, as I discussed before, every equipment has some losses. Here also I take an optimal efficiency of the battery, that is 80%, and as before inverter efficiency 80%. So you might think about why inverter efficiency is required in battery size calculation. The thing is, it's very important, but many are avoiding this inverter efficiency in this calculation, but it's not good. It will affect your battery size. And next about the depth of discharge, that is DOD. It would normally 50%, 60, 70, 90% like that. What is the meaning of this depth of discharge? Suppose your depth of discharge is 90%, means you could take 90% of charge from your battery. Okay, that means you could utilize your 90% of your battery charge. If it is 50, means you could take 50% of your battery charge and 50% will be remaining on your battery. The main thing is, if your depth of discharge is more, then your life of the battery would become less. So always better to consider 50% depth of discharge. So now I am going to calculate the battery size, put everything in this equation. So the total is 32.6 ampere hour H. So approximately I could take 40H. The next available size is 40H. If 35H is available, you could take that, but here I consider only 40H. If you use your 40H battery in this 250 watt system, then what will happen? If you use this 250 watts power for 1 hour, then your 50% of 40H battery will be depleted. And one important thing, when you go to buy the inverter, you need to mention your battery voltage. The important guide for to buy your battery, you could buy one 40H battery of 24 volt, or you could buy two number of 12 volt battery of each having 40H, and you must connect in series. See, here I already connected in series. In series connection, your current will be same and the voltage will be add up. So in series connection, you will get an output of 40H plus 24 volt, and it is the load. Okay, and next you could take two number of 24 volt battery each having 20H, and you must connect in parallel. In parallel connection, your voltage will be same, but the current will be add up. You will get an output of 40H and 24 volt. Okay, or you could take one single battery of 24 volt with 40H. But the main advantage of buying two batteries always is, whenever there is any maintenance for one battery, you could remove it and you could connect the one battery to your load, and accordingly you must cut some loads from the system. Then you could power up your load with the single battery. That means you must cut some LEDs or fans. That means during the main power loss, you must work one LED or one fan. Then you could power your that things with one battery also on that critical conditions. But if you buy only one battery, then if there is any damage happens, then you need to wait until its maintenance is completed. Up to that time, you could not be able to power up your home. I hope you got some deep information through this video. If you want more deep information like this, please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.